All right, guys, welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. Going to be diving into Ephesians 4:2 today. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that this was going to be our 28th episode of Unpacking Verses. So we're going to break it down, right? So the purpose of me breaking these down is fairly simple. For one, it's a way for myself to grow in my faith, and for two, it's a way for me to share it with others and hope that they grow in their faith as well. So that's why I do these. So I'm pretty excited to talk about this one and share with you the notes I've made about it and really what it means to me and how it bears on my life. So, be completely humble and gentle, be patient, bearing with one another in love, right? So, right off the bat, what does that tell me? It tells me that I should have and exhibit in my life compassion and empathy for others, right? Without really deeply going too hard or deep into kind of breaking this down, putting it into context. I think it leads me to believe, I shouldn't say think, it leads me to believe that I should be compassionate and empathetic to others. Why? Because I don't know what's going on in somebody else's life, nor do I expect somebody to divulge their intimate details with me. I don't know if they're having problems in their marriage or relationship. I don't know if they're having problems with their children. I don't know if they're struggling with parents who are dealing with illness. You ultimately never know what somebody is intimately going through, okay? And in order to exhibit a, Christ-like way of existence, you have to be empathetic and understanding and say, hey, I don't know what you're going through. I'm so sorry that this has landed on your plate. Whatever it may be, I have no reason to not be empathetic or gentle with somebody. Okay, I can tell you from my own personal experience, going through some of the darkest days of my life, where I didn't know what the next day was going to hold. I didn't know if the health condition was going to take my life. I didn't know in the beginning how bad it was going to get. And when you're there and you feel like every day just seems to get worse and worse and worse, when you deal with other people on a regular basis, whether it's for work or personal or even just going out to grab a quick bite to eat, you just don't know what somebody is going through. So on the same token, even if you're the one going through something, don't take it out on somebody else. Right? Like, I've had plenty of reasons in my life to be grumpy, right? To say the least, or whatever, like not in the best mood. But it didn't mean that somebody else deserved to get the back end of that. Okay? This verse, at least for myself, as short as it is, offers somewhat of a roadmap, right, for living both in unity and in harmony with others. Like, this morning, in about 90 minutes, I'm going to be leaving the house, going to 10:30 a.m. services with my sister and her children. We're going to spend time today at church. I'm going to run into people that we know, and I'm going to run into people that I've never met before in my life. And regardless of how I feel or what they're going through, I'm going to ask God, right? I'm going to come to Christ and say, Christ, can you help me, right, be more humble and gentle with every single soul that I encounter? I'll give you a quick example of this week where I wasn't exactly so humble. Okay. As I've shared with you guys, I suffer from chronic pain, nerve pain specifically, and it's very uncomfortable. I didn't sleep the night before. I got up in the morning, I traded, and then I ended up going down to my shop and hanging out with my business partner. And a lady came in, and I wasn't feeling well. And I wasn't nasty to her, but perhaps I was a little short, and I could have been a little more empathetic. And I wasn't, not because she deserves that. Like, I was grumpy, I was cranky, I didn't sleep the night before, I was in pain. And that didn't give me the right to be short. And after I walked away from the conversation, like, I took a minute and I was like, that wasn't very Christ-like. I wasn't mean, I wasn't rude, I wasn't obnoxious. I just was like, okay. Like, I just kind of okayed her just to kind of move along the conversation where maybe I could have engaged her from a more humble perspective, a more gentle perspective. And I was just like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, just kind of moving the conversation along. Not really interacting as much as I normally do with people, right? Like, part of my daily prayer is, Lord, take my feet where you wish them to go. Let my actions represent the actions that you have for the will of my life, right? And let me speak the words the way you would want me to, in reflection of Jesus Christ in everything I do. And immediately after finishing that conversation, and again, it wasn't a bad conversation, it didn't end badly, there was nothing nasty said by either of us, I just could have been a little more patient, right? I could have been a little more humble, I could have been a little more gentle. And I wasn't. And this immediate feeling of, that wasn't your very best, came over me. And when you have a close relationship with God, when you have a close relationship with Christ, when you're aiming up, right? Like I always said, you're aiming up at Christ in everything you do. That includes having a simple conversation, right? Like, we don't just need to aim at Christ so that we make more money, right? Or that we have more things, or we have a bigger house, or any of that stuff. No. We have to aim at Christ in even the tiniest little things we do in our daily existence. We need to aim at Christ in our relationships, our marriages, our dealing with our family, dealing with difficulties, dealing with work, dealing with customers, dealing with clients, right? In life, you're going to get frustrated. And you're going to get frustrated because more often than not, it's going to be triggered, right? That frustration. And when that frustration is triggered, you are not going to be the best version of yourself. You're not going to be Christ-like in that conversation. Now, we're all dirty, rotten sinners. I repent for my sins every single day. Right? I've gotten to the point in my life where I don't intentionally, not that I think I ever intentionally sinned, but like, if I didn't do something to the best of my ability, it hits me. Like, that second, it really hits me. And I have this instant feeling that comes over me. And it's not a great feeling, by any means. It's not a great feeling. Because if I ask God every day to help me be the best version of myself, and then I do something that I don't feel was the best version of myself, and by myself I mean myself created in God's image, right? Not my earthly self, not what Anthony wants to be, or who Anthony wants to be, but who God made me to be. I instantly feel it. Right? It's like the Holy Spirit comes out and slaps me across the face and go, that wasn't your best. And that could be applied to anything. It could be applied to simple conversation. It could be applied to your job. It could be applied to a simple task. Conversing with your spouse. Whatever it may be. Handling your children. Handling your family. Dealing with your elderly parents. Whatever it may be. If you can be humble in everything you do, if you could be gentle in everything you touch, if you could be patient with every person you speak to, right? We're supposed to love our neighbor like we love ourselves. And it's more often than not that we don't. And I think we don't, not intentionally. I think that human nature is to always put oneself first. I've worked with a lot of successful people who have made lots and lots of money, who have lots and lots of money. I can tell you one thing. Right? The people that have put everybody and everything before themselves are the ones who have the most successful life. A successful life, a meaningful life, a Christ-like life does not mean they have the most money. It means they live the most fulfilled with meaning. And that doesn't mean to be taken advantage of by any means. And I've worked with other people that completely lack that. They have more money, but nobody wants to engage them. Right? Nobody wants to trade with them. Nobody wants to work with them. Nobody wants to partner with them. Why is that? Well, because their theory is yay for me and you, right? And that's not a good theory. If you're willing to trade with somebody, to work with somebody, to put whatever the deal may be on the table that benefits them slightly more than it benefits you, people are going to line up to trade with you. And by trade, I mean work with you, engage with you, have a relationship with you, be eager to do things with you. If you are the opposite of that and you go, well, I want this deal to be more beneficial for me because I believe that I'm entitled to that, less people are going to line up to want to play with that person. And that is very true in business. Right? I've been in business basically for myself my entire life. And when I say that, I ran my own personal little small gigs in the beginning and then took over businesses, bought businesses, real estate, whatever, done all that stuff. The fact of the matter is, when I engage with somebody and they do better than me, more people line up to engage with you. If you have a reputation for that yay for me and you, less people are going to want to line up for you. They're just not going to want to. Right? Like I've done business deals with people that, well, it's got to be better for me, otherwise I'm not going to do it. Oh, okay, well then I'm just not going to work with you. I don't want to work with you. Like I don't want to build a product with you. I don't want to move forward with you. Why would I? Well, for the very same reason that other people don't want to. Pretty simple. Like that's just the way it goes. So I would urge you to be fair, right? Be compassionate, be humble, be gentle, be empathetic, be patient with other people. Because we're all on a journey, right? At least I believe we're all on a journey. This life that we live is a journey. I, with a great deal of intention, discipline, and consistency, want to become more Christ-like in everything I do. And trust me, I screw that up every day. But every day, I still inhabit the same exact desire and wish to continue to embrace that exact same desire. And every day, my hope is to gain a little bit of ground on that desire. And that includes embracing everything that comes along with this very short, very simple verse. And if you can do that too in your life, in everything you do, right? There's no exception. Oh, this person pissed me off. Oh, my spouse aggravated me. Oh, my kids did this. Listen, it's always going to happen. Right? The most important thing is how you react to it. How do you handle it? Can you do it to the very best of your ability at seeking to be as close to Christ-like as possible? If you can, wonderful. If you can't, it is something to work on. And I say that simply because the more you're able to embrace what this verse tells you to do, the more people that are going to want to work with you, engage with you, trade with you, play with you, right? Like there will be more people that want to be along your journey of life if you're willing to put that time, effort, and energy in to being Christ-like in everything you do. It's not to be taken advantage of. Play fair, be fair, right? You have to do those things. And if you don't do those things, unfortunately, less people are going to want to engage you. Less people are going to want to play with you. Right? And that's a very lonely, not only a lonely life, but I think it lacks a lot of meaning. I say this often, a meaningful life is not an easy life. In fact, it's a hard life. It's a life that revolves around a lot of truth. Okay? And in doing that, you will, if you're pursuing Christ in everything you do, and you'll screw it up. Trust me, I screw it up every day. But if that is your pursuit, right, your life will become much more fulfilling. So if you want a fulfilled life, you have to be fulfilling with other people. Right? If they're having a bad day, be empathetic. Be patient with them. Be gentle with them. Stay humble. So that would be my hope for you as we part ways after unpacking Ephesians 4:2. Represent Christ and aim up at Him in everything you do. And if you do that, it's very hard to not lead that meaningful, fulfilling life. I'll see you guys in the next unpacking. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day, and a happy Thanksgiving coming up on that this Thursday. So I hope you get to spend some time with your family, enjoying them and being thankful for everything you have. I'll see you